friends? Brian Goss here, GM Sports Media. Another episode of Game Time with the Goss, powered by Grey Wolf Promotions. Football and volleyball playoffs coming up. Looking for playoff T-shirts? Go check them out. GreyWolfPromotions.com. My guest today is John Killough, head football coach with Fort Worth Paschal, coming off a impressive 30-28 win over Fort Worth Wyatt in Week 9, clinching a playoff berth. Paschal's first since 1995. Coach, thanks for joining the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, that's probably one of the most craziest wins of your coaching career, and probably one of the most in Paschal's football history for a while now. Just talk about that victory for your kids and clinching that berth.
Uh, couldn't be happier for the kids, for the community, for the program in general. They worked really hard to get where they're at. I'd prefer to go a different way. Me not hugging my knees right there, not even seeing the play until right as it happens. So I'd prefer it happen a different way. But at the same time, like I told the kids, I hate playing in games like that, but they're the games that you will remember for the rest of your life. So.
Yeah, the potential game-winning field goal by Wyatt as time expired, blocked by senior Dylan Williams. Just kind of going back and looking at it, just talk about Dylan's play and getting his hand on the ball.
Dylan's had a tremendous year. He's gone from having 2 or 3 games back to back to back where he had just really, really good games. He didn't necessarily have a great game against Saginaw, but we sort of let that one go in the second half, and that was its own thing. But he came back out against Wyatt, and it was we needed a play, and he went and made it, and got through a gap, got his hands up. We had a couple kids get through, but he was the one that ended up being exactly where he needed to be at the exact same moment or exact moment.
What was you're going crazy there at the end and trying to hold your emotions, but what did you and the coaches tell your kids there at post game, your post game?
Well, we've when we got here 5 years ago, or almost 5 years now, at the end of this season, I told the kids that at some point every successful program decided they wanted to go out and be a successful program, and we've just had a lot of kids buy in, believe what we're doing, and put in the hard work. They show up day in, day out during the summer, get the work put in. And at some point, every program to be successful has bought into that mentality, and started that process. And these kids have done it for the last 5 years. And I received a bunch of texts and stuff after the game from kids that have played in the last 4 years, and just to be able to remind them that you guys started this mentality, and you're the reason we are where we are. Just because of the work and leadership they put in. And then these kids have just picked it up and kept going with it. And the drop to 5A has definitely been something that has helped us tremendously. And we knew it would. Playing in the district we've played in for the last 4 years is just, when you play at that level, when you play those kind of kids, your kids get used to, playing some of the top talent in the state. So it carries over when we move down to 5A.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Just playing the likes of the North Crowleys, and I know Pascal in the past, playing Mansfields and Arlingtons, but dropping down to 5A, in the off season in the summer, is this the kind of season you were envisioning?
Yeah, and they're a little bit more. Our kids really had to bounce back last week from a tough loss against Saginaw. I felt that we had all the intangibles to go out and win that game, and we just didn't get it done. And we have to be able to get past that, and it's tough to move past a big loss like that, especially when we were up by where we were at halftime. And so that was the hardest thing for us to get our kids to understand is going out, and we were flat, and we're banged up a little bit right now with injuries too, so that's not helping. But we're in a situation right now where we think we're going to be able to get back to healthy here in the next week or so.
Talking with Paschal football coach John Killough. What kind of team do you have this year? Is it senior heavy, upper class heavy, good balance?
It's a good balance. We've got a really talented senior class, but we've also got a really talented junior class. And then our sophomores, we've got a couple sophomores that play for us on varsity. And then we've got a really talented sophomore team. Our JV is 7-1 right now. Our freshman team is 7-1 right now. They'll take care of business this week and then play for the freshmen will get to play for a district championship next week, hopefully with Heights. And then the JV will at least get to play for a share of it playing Heights next week. So those programs are doing really well. And then, overall, it's a good time to be here.
Yeah, this is your fifth season. Just what's been different here in year five in terms of maybe athleticism, in terms of the number of kids that are coming up to your program? How has that improved or changed since the first year you arrived at Paschal?
We've had a influx of kids coming out to play football. I want to say when we first started, we had around maybe 135 to 140 kids in the program. And now we've reached about 185 right now. So we've had more kids coming out and just buying in with that mentality of we can and we will here. And so that's definitely helped us. And you know, it's just the kids' mentality of they want to win, and they've been working at this for a long time, so they've earned it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to sort of celebrate this Wyatt win over the weekend, but now it's, Monday back to work. How do you tell your kids to kind of, you know, refocus for Trimble Tech this week?
We're on to our next goal. The only thing we can control right now is ourselves, and we've got to get to work, and we've got to get ready for a physical team in Trimble Tech. They're physical, they play hard, and that's the only thing we can do is control ourselves, just one game at a time. Talking to the kids about a playoff mentality when you've been in the playoffs and when you've done it so many times, it really is it's the funnest part of the season because it's a win or lose situation. I mean, it's a once in a lifetime chance, and anybody can beat anybody on any given day. And all you got to do is show up and just beat them on that one day. So it's the same mentality for us right now. We've got to get ready for Trimble Tech. We've got to take care of business there. And then we've got a big game between us and Arlington Heights that will impact seeding. And so all we can do right now is focus on ourselves.
Awesome. Well, Coach Killough, congrats again on that win and making some history. First time in 29 years, Pasco will be playing a playoff game. So congrats to you, the kids, and the entire school there.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's Pasco head coach John Killough. And this is another episode of Game Time with the Goss, powered by Grey Wolf Promotions. We appreciate you tuning in. I'm Brian Gossett with GM Sports Media, and we'll check you out next time.